Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the northeast spawn of Mannheim Line, otherwise known as Arctic region, and is under the command of BunnieNutz, and that's Jazz. Okay, game's underway. Yes, Jazz is the lady that came up with the skin for this Arty, the M53 M55. That's an actual copy of the skin seen on an M55. It was an M53 rather, that was shown in one of the Chieftain's videos. Now she's actually using the M55 because that's an 8-inch howitzer. And that means she's got 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour. She fires her first round in there, but the E50M on the enemy team managed to get down into the dip before the shell landed on top of them. Okay, fairly long reload, 33.23 seconds. It's quite a long time. But she's got plenty of targets to shoot at, and the first one she's going to fire at next is the Emil 2. It's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. Almost ready to go. She's going to have to lead this target just a little, enough to make a shot. She fires and pulls back. Oh, she got a fire! She set the Emil 2 alight and he doesn't have a fire extinguisher. He's still burning and they got the flames out. That really shows that if you're going to use premium consumables, you better have a crew with good firefighting skills, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of hit points. She managed to get 378 hit points from the actual direct hit and another 477 from the fire. So that was a really good earner. Okay, she's looking around for a new target to shoot at. There's nothing there. Okay, well, possibility is somebody might be down there. The enemy has 3 Artys. She's just looking around for a target that she can shoot at the moment. And at the moment, the enemy is being very cautious. They're actually hiding. But that Centurion, she can possibly splash him. She fires around in. And yes, she does get some damage. But I think she actually hit the Object 907 who went in there to try and kill the Centurion. At least I think she splashed him. She's going to change position again so she can get shots on the enemy. And they've killed the Centurion 7-1. She's going to join the other Artys on her team. And they're firing ranges, firing shells down range rather. Not easy to get a shot on that Conqueror from this angle. She might want to consider moving to further along the A line, somewhere like A5. She can shoot from A5 and probably hit the enemy tanks the other side of the hill, but she can't hit them from here because, well, only the Kampfpanzer. There, she can hit that Kampfpanzer 50-ton. Just waiting for the reload to complete. There he is, he's gone waterside. Difficult shot to hit that one. Very difficult. He's pulling back. She fires the round in. Let's see where that shell went. Oh, it was a direct hit. Yes, I'm afraid BunnieNutz has got the habit of pulling back after she shoots. We still don't know why people do that. It's a psychological thing rather than a need to pull back and see what else is going on around. I think you might have to take control of the camera to give us a full view of what's going on, but we just lost a Leopard. And in fact, actually, we've lost most of the tanks that are on the west side of the map. And the last remaining one, the T-49's fallen down into the dip. And there's no way out once you're in there, which means now that he's a goner. All he can do is sit on that ledge. Although we're firing at the E50M who's above him, there's nothing we can do to help him. He can't get out of there. He's trapped. And all we can do now is counter battery on the enemy Arty, because none of the other enemy tanks are in sight. You can see a few of the enemy tanks, they're drowned. Okay, now we've got a target. It's a T-30. He could actually shoot our T-49 from where he is, and she does the same thing again, fires and pulls back. I don't think he realises the T-49 is down there, and he's taking damage. So, well, BunnieNutz is getting stun assist, and the T-30 dies the other M53, M55 on our team. In fact, we've got 3 of them on the team, so... Almost ready. Gonna go for the strip 103B, tier 10. Rounds out. Well, it lands right alongside him for 103. Sorry, for 308. What am I saying? Now, I think she's moving position again. We're getting ready to attack the enemy tanks as they come towards the cap from this direction. Doesn't appear to be any threat coming from the west now, so we seem to be fairly safe. The only major threat was that T-30 and the E50M. They've both been killed, so it's only these guys coming up from the south. She fires a round in again. She pulls back. I should have stayed with the target. Now this is a little bit dangerous move, this one, because you are getting much closer to the enemy, but you can hit them in the side from this direction. There's nobody between us and the enemy now, and so it's just a matter of time before they come up through that pass. T-49's still stuck in his little trap. Given what's going on in the battle at the moment, I'd be very much inclined to actually go over to the west side of the map and shoot from the northwest corner of the map at the enemy tanks as they make their way towards our cap area, and or possibly go to the enemy cap area. There's the Conqueror. You managed to get up without being seen. Oh, nice hit. 371. The problem with being closer is that you might get spotted, and she has been spotted, which now means enemy Arty could be on her very shortly. And there's the strip 103B. She's dodged one enemy Arty shot, but she's now in long reload, and that if that strip saw her, he did. Ouch. Yeah, that's the problem with being in that position, coming down the side. Although you do get shots sometimes on the enemy, the thing is, if they spot you, you are dead meat. Yeah, I'm afraid it's happened to me as well. I've tried that position, but it just doesn't work. It only really works if there's enemy coming in from the west, and you've got no choice but to move over to the east side of the map to try and defend yourself. And here comes the enemy 1390, and he did come in from the west. So he must have gone the long way around to come up behind our guys. And unfortunately, we've lost another of the Arty. There goes the third. So they've got no Arty left now. It's this Conqueror, the 50 TP, and they're defending themselves, and the fact that the 50 TP was hit kind of suggests there's an Arty right down the south end of the map. In fact, yeah, he's just pinged the map at H8, was it? No, it was G8. No, G0, sorry, because he thinks that the enemy Arty is right down there on the ledge. There's the T49. Yeah, he doesn't really want to go in there again. There's no way up from that position, I'm afraid. Once you're in there, you're stuck there. In fact, all you can do is stop yourself from drowning, really, more than anything. There's a kind of ledge you can sit on that side to protect yourself if somebody goes down the far end. But there's no getting out, I'm afraid. Wargaming made that a complete trap. In fact, I do remember the first time I played this game, played this map, I actually fell into one of these areas, and yeah, it didn't end well for me. You can sit on that little ledge there. There is a ledge, you can see it's shallow just there. Can't go beyond that though because it's deep water. You will drown. But there's absolutely no way out of this area. Believe me, I think many people have tried to get out once they've fallen in, but there is nothing. It's a mousetrap. I don't know why we're following the T49 at the moment. And we go back to BunnieNutz's wreck, and we can see the enemy 50 TP's just taken out our Conqueror, and there goes the 50 TP. So that means the T49 is the last one alive, and the 50 TP is going to cap. That's for sure. They'll end the game with the cap. They probably know the T49's down there, but they can't kill him, so they've decided to just ignore him, and that will be the end of the game. Unless, of course, the T49 decides to drown himself. Oh, here comes the FB3805. Are you going to come down here as well? He's trying to get a shot, but it won't work. Oh, no, I stand corrected. He did get hit there. Not by the 3805, but he was spotting for his other teammate in the Kampfpanzer, and there we go. That's it, end of game. I didn't think they could get a shot down there, but yes, the FB3805 was acting as a distraction whilst the Kampfpanzer took up position at the other end. So that's the first battle, and I'm afraid it's a loss. Let's have a look at the second battle. And here's the second replay, and this time we're on Mannerheim line, but we're on the opposite spawn. Still BunnieNutz, still the M53, M55. Game started. Now it's the 18-inch howitzer, 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 11 meters. She's not moving too far away from the spawn point. She's actually gone into the trees just at the edge of the map. Now this can actually hinder her ability to fire northwards, but she can still fire at the enemy tanks over on the other side of the battlefield. And oh, she's got a bunch of them to fire at right now. Oh, she fired ahead, hoping that one of them would actually drive into the shells, but both the Scorpion and the IS-6B stopped, and in doing so they actually protected themselves from being hit by one of BunnieNutz's shells. Okay, a target that she can shoot at is a Wizzy 120, which is a Chinese medium tank. This one's a tier 9 battle with tier 8 tanks in it, so she's top tier. Okay, she's loaded. Rounds out in the M451. Direct hit! He actually pulled forward just as her shell arrived, so he walked right into the shell. Okay, so she's reloading. She's managed to improve the reload time. She's now at 32 seconds, 0.67. So I think she's made an adjustment. She is actually using premium consumables. But I think she might have added a rammer, or she's got a BIA crew this time. This battle took place a little while after the last one you've seen. Over to the north, there's a T-54 first prototype and a Lanson C, but she hasn't got shots on them because of that rock that's in the way. So she's now just trying to get another shot into one of the enemy. There's a Centurion and a dip and a T-95 around the corner, but there's the M451. She's going for him because she can see him. Rounds out. Well, that one landed right alongside him, but still got him for 307. And he's taking fire from other targets, or other teammates rather. And BunnieNutz is changing position because they're getting closer and she doesn't want to get spotted. Yeah, this looks better. And of course, the further south she moves, the more likely she's going to be able to hit those guys just around the corner. A splash hit will be enough to take out the IS-6B. And she does. And she does that thing again where she pulls back and we missed the shell actually hitting the target. Yeah, I'm sure it is a psychological thing that people do. Of course, many deny that it's psychological at all, but I'm afraid it does appear to be, because sometimes you don't pull back and you do watch, and other times you do pull back immediately. Okay, I'm going to stay with this one, so I'm going to deny her control. Yes, direct hit on the E4 there, no problem. She's now selecting the T-95. She's got lots of juicy targets to extract their hit points. This is one of the fun bits about being Arty. Of course, you can get these hits again and again and again, and each time the enemy gets hit, they get less hit points. More likely your teammates are going to get the kills, and of course, you're getting the stun assist as well out of it. Okay, she's going for the E4. It landed right alongside him for 224. Oh, the Wizzy 120's gone into the water. I think he's going to drown. Yes, he did. He thought he could get past this. Way too steep on that area. And yes, you won't get back out because it's not shallow enough for you to actually hit or get up. So yes, that's an accidental kill that the team has actually managed to get. Okay, go for the E4, Sip Pershing. She fires the round in, again pulls back, but again she doesn't pull back that far on this one because she couldn't see the target. I sometimes wonder if it's, it's a psychological thing that you don't want to actually see the damage being done to the enemy tank, and that's why you pull back directly after you fire, because it's like, oh, I'm afraid of seeing a tank damaged. Okay, we can't see the T-95. I have the sneak feeling if she does fire a round in there that she won't pull back. Okay, I'm going to take control. She did fire it, pulled back only slightly though. T-95 got hit, and she's collected another 366 hit points. She's now up to 1.8k. Okay, the next target's a Skoda T-27 over by the enemy cap area, but she's scanning around for an easier target, and there's a Jagdtiger 88, the premium version. Fairly thin armour on the rear, that is. Only an 88mm gun instead of the normal 128mm. Indian Panzer's decided to stop in that position. She didn't fire though. She thinks the Jagdtiger's still there. He is still there. She fires the round in. Direct hit on his engine deck. 531. Brask is going in to get the kill. And he does. Okay, the next target. Well, the enemy's running out of tanks to hit. Actually, there's still 8 of them out there, funnily enough. I say there's running out of tanks to hit, but there's very few actually in sight at the moment. The Indian Panzer, oh, suddenly we've got a whole bunch of enemy tanks in sight. And I think that's because our guys are over in their cap area. I'm afraid she can't hit that Lance and C. He's just outside range. She's going to have to move closer if she wants to get shots on him. But he's been killed anyway, so... Oh, Indian Panther. Now, she thought about hitting him earlier. She fires the round in again. Long flight time for the shell. Unfortunately, he's not there when the shell arrives. Trying to work out where the last enemy Arty is. Well, there is only one enemy Arty. FB3805. It's a bit difficult to hide because it's a huge Arty. But he's not in any of the conventional positions, so I suspect he's on the east side of the map, and she's moving closer to try and get a shot on him. So the enemy are being pursued on the south approach. There's a Samur. Now I suspect that the FB3805 is somewhere behind one of those bushes. Well, she splashed the Samur, who just emptied his magazine. Unfortunately killed our Barras. There's the FB3805. He was in amongst the trees on the east side of the map. Far east side. But he knows he's been spotted, so he is moving about to try and throw BunnieNutz off. It's not going to help you. Not if you have to stay there, because you can't move anywhere else. Because if you do, the rest of our teammates are going to see you. She fires the round in. Let's see this shell land. Yeah, direct hit. 430, but doesn't kill him. But he gets taken out a moment later by our SU-130PM. There's only one remaining enemy. And he's over towards the north. There you go. Samur SM. And he's killed by our SU-130PM as well. So he picks up another kill. And it's a game over. It's a victory. So after that rather disappointing loss in the first one, she comes back with a victory for us in the second one. Let's have a look at the battle stats for the first Factal. And she managed to get a Bruiser medal in that game, but nothing else, I'm afraid. Yes, it was the loss, but there's not a lot she could do about that. Win rate of the battle was 2,305. If we look at team score, we can see she actually managed to get 3,000 hit points of damage, 3,022, which put her third on her team, but not third overall. There was actually the enemy Arty, James AC, managed to do 3,861 hit points, picked up a Gauze medal, so he was the high scorer on damage, didn't get the high caliber though. I always wonder about that, you know, you get the Gauze medal, but you don't get a high caliber when you've obviously scored the highest damage, so you should get the high caliber. But they always say, oh, well, you've got to do 20% of the 25% of the enemy, or 20% of the enemy hit pool in total. So, yes, I do wonder about that, though. And when it came to kills, she didn't get any kills in that game at all, I'm afraid. And when it came to base XP, only 363. She fired 10 rounds, got 3 direct hits, 1 penetration, 7 splash, damage of 3,022 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. She earned 42,014 credits from the game, got 30,000 for completing a mission, but took away 39,519 credits altogether. She also earned 544 XP from that game. So it wasn't a very successful game, but that can't be helped for BunnieNutz. She did as much as she could. It was just very difficult to shoot at the targets because there were big, huge rocks in the way every time she tried. And of course her team on the west side of the map sort of like fell apart, and that allowed the enemy to come in from the west again. If we look at the second battle, it was a little more successful. She got a third class tanker in that one, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 11 in this one, and this time around she got a Confederate medal because she hit more of the enemy than anyone else on her team, and her win rate was a little higher as well with 3,024. That's Super Unicum standard. She didn't get the highest damage overall. That went to the Brask, who got 3,189 hit points, but she did pick up the third highest damage after the Lanson C with 3,040. BunnieNutz got 2,886, and of course that Confederate. When it came to kills, the SU-130PM managed to pick up 3. He got 2 kills right at the end of the game. He picked up the FB3805 and then he got the Samur SM, giving him the highest number of kills in the game. The Brask, Lancer C and Chrysler GF all got 2 kills, so did the Samur and the Skoda T27. And I'm afraid BunnieNutz only got the 1 kill, but there again, if she'd got more kills, she wouldn't have got the Confederate on this occasion. When it came to base XP, it was the Brask who got the best with 991, the Lancensea got 978, the Chrysler GF got 975, and then we got another Lancensea getting 809, and then it's BunnieNutz with 721, and I think the reason for this was that she did less stun assist in this game. If you look at the details, we can see she fired 12 rounds in this one, got 6 direct hits, no penetration, 12 splash, damage of 2,886 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She hit 8 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, but she didn't get much stun assist, only 20 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns, which means her teammates weren't really shooting the tanks that she was stunning. She earned 36,033 credits, got 30,000 credits for completing a mission, and took away 33,593 credits. She also picked up 8,571 XP, and she completed a mission as well, getting 3,164 in that one as well. So much better game in the second one from the other spawn. Now, I like either the battle on either spawn on that one, but I do find it's much more difficult to defend the east spawn than it is the west spawn. In fact, the west spawn I find much more interesting because, of course, the tanks that are coming around that southern pass, they almost make themselves willing targets for you to smack about as an arty. And as long as you fire from the right position, yes, you can gain a huge amount of damage, and of course damage means credits. So I hope you've enjoyed that replay, and please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching. Oh, and thanks to BunnieNutz for all the wonderful skins you've given us. I know I can't use them all that often, but the reason is that for some reason the tier 10 games won't work with the skins, so I have to leave the skins off if I'm going to be playing tier 10 Arty. Thanks for watching.